Maria, good morning. What are the options the EU now have, and what are they actually exploring to do?
Well, Anne-Marie, look, that's a story that we put out on the terminal. It's a Bloomberg scoop. And what we're seeing here is that the EU is already looking at those legal options if that bill is indeed voted through in the UK, which, as you know, it's highly controversial, but would almost undo key elements in that exit part of the withdrawal agreement that was just approved, a little less than a year ago. And that should be factored in here. The European Union always looked at that as legally binding. They always looked at that as almost an international agreement that had to be respected, no matter the outcome of the trade talks. And they are looking at potentially suing the UK if that was necessary. And that would also open up perhaps the room for some type of financial compensation. But again, this is still very early days. This is just exploring those options. But it goes back to this theme we've been talking for this whole week, this idea that European officials have really been taken aback by the UK pushing through this potential piece of legislation, undoing agreement that they still very much see as fit and that they view as a result of 3 years of negotiation, that no matter what happens in those trade talks has to be respected.
Maria, always great to see you. How much of this is negotiating tactic and how much of it is real risk? I think this is Europe taking the Cummings-Johnson playbook and putting it right back at them.
Yeah, Manis. And look, there's many theories floating around today, whether this is just political noise or this is really heading now into a no deal. But one of those theories does suggest or does point to the fact that this could be the UK in a very almost, Machiavellian, but also very intentional way, just precipitating this crisis, hoping that that will trigger an intervention from EU leaders. Now, for weeks now, the UK team has said that Michel Barnier is stuck in the negotiations, that they need to see a bigger political push, and this may get European leaders more involved into this. But what I would say, however, is that this has triggered a lot of backlash here in Europe. We've heard from the head of the European Council, the head of the European Commission, really saying this is not a good basis of trust going into a negotiation. Why should we negotiate in good faith when our counterpart is not doing so? So really, that's almost the mood here. I would say it's definitely become much more aggressive over the past 3 or 4 days.